Hi, welcome to Online Math 25 with Elizabeth Canis. I'm your instructor for this semester, and I'm very excited to have you be part of our class. What you see right in front of you is our Canvas course page, so I wanted to share with you a little bit about how this class is going to be running and also give a little bit of introduction about who I am. So we will not see each other in person, but through videos and our interactions online, I hope to get to know you. And as some of you guys might be new to online courses, or maybe you just want to have a better experience, a couple of reminders that make it feel a little bit more like an in-person class is your active participation in our Canvas shell. That includes being active in our discussions that we're going to have every single week, discussion boards. Also, you can see on the left side, and I'm going to kind of go through a few of these things, you can visit me in my office, and then the InSpace tab here is going to be the format that we're going to try and use this semester instead of Zoom. It's a little bit more kind of friendlier, easier to use in some ways, and all you have to do in order to get there is click on the InSpace tab. Now I'm looking at our course through the student view, and it won't let me exactly click on that. Well, I'll try that actually. Just clicked on the InSpace tab, and my internet's thinking about it. Okay, and so when you click on it, you want to click on Get Started. Now again, I'm in as a student view, so it won't let me go through this, but you can click on the Get Started, you can watch a little video to find out more about InSpace. But what's going to happen is when you are in here, and I'm going to leave student view for just a minute so you can get a better idea of what this will look like. It's coming, slow internet. Okay, so once you join the study space, it'll look something like this, where there's kind of these two boxes at the top. They might also be vertical, but one of them says Miss Canis's Office Spring 2022, and the other one says Study Space. So as we're kind of getting into this class, getting to know each other, the office hours is a really good way to kind of drop in, visit me, ask any questions that you have. And then the study space is an opportunity to interact with your classmates, and this space is open 24/7. It's available to you all the time. You just got to click on the link and join in. I recommend maybe doing your homework in there, and that way if someone else steps in, you guys can talk to each other about it and ask each other questions, just in case you're not able to make it to my office hours. So just a little option, and we're going to go through this a little bit more as the semester continues. I'll have an assignment where you have to join into the study space just to check in. So if I go over to the column on the far left, and again, I'm going to join back as a student, so let me go back to the home page, and I'm going to click on student view so it looks like how your course looks, and here we are. Okay, so this is our main home page, and that's where we started. On the right side you can see a to-do list. It looks like we have a lot of stuff coming up the first week, and a lot of it's like reading and just getting to know what the class is about. There's a little quote that I love about success, and it's not final. Failure is not fatal, and it's the courage to continue that counts. I know a lot of people have struggled with mathematics in the past, and I just want you to know that the goal for you for this class is to have a positive experience and really learn the math content and get through it. But just a reminder that the whole learning process does require some times where you don't know, you don't understand, but that's where it's your job to ask questions, get things clarified, and do the work. You got to keep on trying. And if at first you fail, just keep on going and try again. You really can learn from failure, and that is the learning process. So this is just kind of your welcome. If I scroll down a bit more, you can directly go to the welcome module, which is the first requirement for this class. You have to complete this before you can move on to anything else for our course. And so I'm going to actually scooch over. You can click directly on welcome module, or on the far left column, you can see that's the second thing. And every single week, we're going to be working on our modules for this class. I'm going to click on it so you can see what this will be looking like. You can see the very first thing is that welcome module that it was mentioning. And you have to, again, complete this before you complete the rest of this week's work. So this week we will do some math learning, but a lot of it is getting to know how the class is going to run, and then also kind of reviewing some content that you might have forgotten about. So if I click on just this first thing right here, which you can see it says view it, I'm like, okay, I'll view it. So to click on it, this is me viewing it. There might be a lot of words going on. There's a little picture of me and tells you about the goals for this class. about how important it is to really understand the concepts that we're going through, not just do the math. You're going to be learning by thinking and struggling and not just watching and listening. And part of your participation grade is learning how to express your confusion and questions, whether that be on a discussion board, via email, or we're going to have these weekly check-ins where you can share what you have learned for the week. And especially in this online class, you are working, a lot of this is independent work for you, but at the same time, just know that you have support. You have me via email. You can email me anytime. I respond about within 24 hours. Maybe on the weekend it might be a bit longer or a holiday. And then, like I showed you, that in space, that gives you the option to go to that study space. And if more students try and go to that study space, then you'll have other people to interact with as well. Our whole course is set up into really 4 big modules, I call them, or units. And each of those units has about 4 weeks in it. And so you'll see like module 1, week 1, module 1, week 2, and that's going to be kind of our setup. Everything's dated, so you'll know where you need to be. Another reminder that our course is fully online, so you are expected to spend time both learning as well as practicing and studying. So one thing that I notice about students is they say, well, I've been spending, 20 minutes on this math and I just don't get it. But instead of spending that hour or 2 hours that you would normally spend, or actually 4 hours really once a week, you need to spend that time going through and trying to learn it, watching the videos, and trying out the activities that I post every week. And then on top of that, you're going to be studying, doing homework, continuing to review another 8 to 12 hours, because for every hour in class, it's about 2 hours outside of class. And so to do well in this class, you need to be planning at least 12 to 16 hours a week. 12 to 16 hours a week for our class. Okay, so keep this in mind when you're planning your schedule. I know that you have family, work, and other things and obligations going on, but you also signed up for this math class. So if you want to be successful, you need to put in that time. So our day 1 assignment is to be watching this video, which you are. It's a play pause it video, and also to go and do the first assignment, which if I can click directly on that hyperlink, this is our KWL on the syllabus. And so your job is going to be to click on this, it's a 3-page KWL worksheet, and when you click on that, it will ask you some questions as you go over your syllabus. So I just clicked it, it popped up in a new tab, and this is what it looks like. The first page says, what do I already know? So what are some things that you already know about this course? And I'm not talking about content, I'm talking about like, what do you know? Do you know anything about the expectations? Like I just said, you should spend about 12 to 16 hours a week. So that's something that you already know before you actually go through and read the syllabus. What do you want to know? What are the questions that you have about how this class is going to be run? Again, not about content. I don't want you to be telling me that you want to know about factoring or I want to know how to graph better. But what about the actual format of the course, or questions about how grading will be done, that sort of thing. And then you'll go back and actually read the syllabus and write down your answers to those questions, or what have you learned. So there's 3 pages that you're going to turn into one PDF document. And if I go back over to our Canvas page, again, there's 3 separate pages. You can either print it out, or you can use 3 separate pieces of paper and write out those the wording that it had at the top of each page. And again, the goal is to put those together as one PDF, because we're going to do a lot of things in this class and things that you're going to turn in, and they have to be submitted in that way. If you scroll down a little bit, I said that the syllabus is what you would be reading after you write down what you know and what you want to know. You're going to be able to click on the syllabus. So I'm going to click on that right now. And so when I do, it's actually coming down below here. That's fine. And I'm going to expand that so you can see it all together. Zoom in a bit. All right. And so this again kind of goes through the idea and my philosophy on our course, as well as our course learning outcomes. It has my contact information. Email is the best way. You can email me directly through Canvas or at elizabeth.canis@gp.edu. And then my visiting hours, they're posted here. You can make an appointment in Canvas 24 hours in advance. That just gives me a heads up so I know that you're going to be coming to drop in. That's Tuesdays from 9 to 11 or Thursdays 9 to 10:30. And we're going to do that again via that in-space tab. So you can just click on that in-space tab, or actually these ones are the appointment ones. So make sure that you make an appointment, and I have that in our Canvas as well, how to do that. And then these are the drop-in hours. Right now we are all online to start the semester until January 31st. So my office hours on Wednesdays aren't really a thing. We will be doing those just as a drop-in via InSpace. There's important dates to remember on there. And then expectations. Again, you should be coming into Canvas every day. This is your class. Your classroom is really going to be Canvas. The in-class study space is, again, something that's available to you 24/7, where you can work on homework, make new study partners. The main tools for our class are going to be our textbook, which is actually embedded in the ALEX program. So we're going to be using ALEX 360, so you will need to get an access code. The bookstore right now, if you are enrolled in less than 10 units, you can get, I think it's $250, and if you're enrolled more than 10 units, you get $500 towards the bookstore, so you can purchase the access code directly there. And again, it's for ALEX 360 with an ebook, and the ebook is College Algebra 2nd edition by Julie Miller. So as soon as you get that access code and you go and you try and log into ALEX, it will be connected to our course, and I'll show you more information about that. And besides that ebook and ALEX code, again, ALEX is going to be our online homework system. So you will have assignments in both ALEX and Canvas. So there's going to be those two places where you're going to be doing a lot of practice and learning. It's also recommended that you have a binder or notebook to store all of your notes and homework and things like that. There are no graphing calculators allowed. You can use a basic scientific calculator. We will be using something called Desmos.com to do some of our graphing for us, but that technology is supposed to be helping you, not doing the math for you. Talking about technology, again, since we're online, you must have a reliable computer internet access. And again, you can go through and read this a little bit more carefully. I want to point out, again, I know that there are many apps and websites that will solve and do all the math work for you. They are never to be used to do the work for you. This would be academic dishonesty, and if it is the case that you end up cheating in some way, you could receive a 0 on your assignment and actually fail the class, and also get reported to the dean. So please make sure that all work is your own. All right, communication, kind of already talked about that you should be emailing me. Here's more about academic honesty. And we have success without integrity is failure. So as you're working through this class, keep in mind that you want to be showing me what you have learned in this class, okay? If you have disabilities or need other student support, please let me know about that. And so going on to the grading, what you guys want to know a lot about, again, ALEX homework is where we're going to be working on some stuff, and there's a little video that you can watch on how ALEX works. But really there's two parts to it. There are these things called assignments, which will be kind of more, it'll feel like traditional homework almost. You'll have like 15 questions or so that you'll be doing online for each section. And then there's these PI objectives. These, again, you'll know more once you log in to ALEX, but this is going to be kind of covering some of the prerequisites or knowledge that maybe you are missing prior to coming into our class. So some skills that you should have learned previously. This will get you that practice time before you start the regular assignments. So you can look forward to that. There's going to be discussion boards and other Canvas assignments and things like that. Directed learning activities. You're going to have to complete 4 directed learning activities, and those kind of mean a couple of different things. There are physical DLAs that you can do in the Success Center, and they're meant to extend what we do in class. But for our requirement, I will also allow you to do really any Success Center activity, and it has to be through the STEM Success Center. And so what I mean by that is they will hold like weekly workshops on college algebra related to the content that we're learning, so you can attend one of those. And again, all of this is currently all online, and you can see our Canvas page for more info on that. You can also go to drop-in tutoring. They have drop-in tutoring, and so if you complete an hour or one of those drop-in tutorings, which is actually a half hour, that will complete one of your activities for our class. Again, you need to do 4 activities. So you just go to tutoring 4 times, and you would meet the requirement that I'm asking you for that. There's going to be 4 ALEX exams, so they're going to be done within ALEX, and we'll see more as we continue on. There's going to be 1 midterm and 1 final. All of these, if you do a test online, a little comment that you will have to take really neat written notes for every single problem showing all the steps and all of your understanding. And that paper that you take all those notes on, you're going to have to upload as one PDF. It must be neat and numbered, and that's really what I grade from. So if no work is shown for problems, you will lose credit or receive no credit. Again, you can go through and read all of this. Again, cheating is a big deal. Do not cheat. Make sure that all work is your own, please. Scrolling back further down. And so with the grades, the Alex Pie and assignments, so that's your Alex homework, alex.com homework, that's 10% of your grade. The DLAs and Success Center activities, those are 1% of your grade. The Canvas discussion boards and any other assignments that are in Canvas, like we're going to have these things called Decimos activities, we have weekly check-ins, we have the discussion boards, that's worth 9% of your grade. So that leaves all of our participation activities, that's 20% of your grade. The Alex exams, there's 4 of them. The lowest one is dropped. So I know that sometimes you don't have all of the content mastered yet. We have a little growth mindset around here. But the lowest one is dropped. Just keeping that in mind. And then you can see your midterm and final are worth the rest, the 50% of your grade. So a lot of your grade is based on these exams, but the way that you do well on exams is working through all of these activities, doing the learning and the practicing, and then the exams should be pretty good for you. All right, there's a quick note about grades and what it means to get an A and what practices make it good and make you do well in the class. And then I have some advice from previous algebra students that you should read through that. And then you can see our tentative schedule. Again, check on Canvas for any changes, but you can see when our exams are planned, so you should put that into your schedule. And any holidays that we have as well. Going all the way down to May, and you can see our final exam is going to be available May 16th to May 17th. Okay, so that is the syllabus. That was a quick run through, so please make sure that you check that out better. And again, you're completing that KWL chart or worksheet after you finished reading through the syllabus, and you'll be able to upload it there as well. Scrolling up and down, sorry about that. When I scroll, go all the way to the top, here's the start assignment. So you click on that and that's where you'll upload your document. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the modules so you can see where we've been. So I started with the welcome letter. You're currently in the video, play, pause it. But you can see as I viewed that letter, there's a little check mark there. So I know I took care of that. Here's that day 1 assignment. And again, once you submit, it'll show a little check mark on that. You can always review your submission. So please make sure that you submitted the right document. And again, it's only 1 document for that assignment. It's 3 pages long though. We're going to go into the discussion. We will have weekly discussion boards. For every discussion, you post 1 thing and then you're required to respond to 1 other classmate. So the first discussion board is all about introductions, and I kind of divided this because our courses was put together. We have about 93 students in our class. So in order for you to not have to look through 93 responses, I split us up. So there will be about 30 people in your discussion board group, and that's who you're going to interact with the rest of the semester. Again, you're supposed to put 1 post and then respond to another. It's really nice if you can post by like Friday at the latest of every week, and then you can reply and have some time before the Sunday due date. So it would be really nice if you didn't wait till the last minute. And so the first part we're doing again is introductions. And before posting, please make sure you update your Canvas profile image so that way you have a nice picture and I can see who I'm interacting with throughout the semester. So there's some guidelines for how to do that. And then these are the questions that you're going to answer. And just a short intro about yourself, your major, career interests, maybe a book, movie, or TV you last read or watched, and then something about yourself, for example, like your hobby, your job, your pets, etc. So you can read through my post. You can see my family here. I have 4 kiddos. And from there, again, that just gave you an idea. And if you want to, you can also make a video of yourself. There is that option as well if you don't feel like typing. And I just scrolled back up. If you would prefer to do that, there's this little icon that looks like a little play video, and that's in the toolbar above the discussion board. You can click on that and you can just record your post. So if you like that, feel free to use that. So I'm scrolling down all the way just to kind of show you that here's where you're going to reply, and you won't be able to see anybody else's until you reply first. So do yours and then you can see other people's. And then once you're done with like this page in our module, then you just click next. And this is really walking me through that whole entire module. Again, you're going to see here's the syllabus. It takes me to the syllabus link. And there's like a mark as done explanation. Again, that works you through the module, and just a little circle. You just click on that, you know you did that, and it will show you in that module with those check marks as well. We're going to work on our strategies for success and norms. So please, again, read through all of this, and then you'll click on this document to add some norms, and then you'll click mark as done once you complete that. Just hitting next again on that bottom right. Here's our communication plan, so how we're going to have to contact me, how I'll contact you, which is most of the time through announcements, and you'll want to update your settings to have your announcements be sent to your email, and you should be checking your email every single day, okay? I'll also be providing feedback to you within Canvas, so please make sure you view assignments and things that you turned in, view the feedback. If you have questions about any of this, please let me know. To communicate with classmates, you're going to work on our discussion boards. We're going to have our class norms set up, and then there's the student lounge and Q&A as well. You can see on the far left toolbar, student lounge and Q&A. This is a discussion board where you guys can post questions. You can post overall class questions there, because if you have a question about the class, most likely other students do too. So it would be great to post there. You can always email me, but it's also nice to post there. Again, this is for the whole entire class, so you don't want to post personal information, but it's an easy way to chat. And like I said, we can use the InSpace tab where you can actually physically go in and do that video chatting if you'd like to communicate more with your classmates and form those study groups. Really, to learn math, you need to work with other people. That's the best way to learn and come to better understanding. So. All right, the next thing, again, Canvas notifications. This is what I was just talking about, that you want to have the announcements say notify me right away. And so that will send you an email that I sent an announcement out. And then if you want to know when things are graded, click on that. And again, this is all in your settings where you can change your notification preferences. And as I'm saying that, when you do go to that student lounge and Q&A, you can actually subscribe. Let me see if it's on this one. It's not. I'm going to click on the student lounge on the far left. And to make sure that you see like questions. Oh, it won't let me see it. Okay. We'll have to fix that. But when you click on that, there's a subscribe. Oh, now it worked. Okay, it just says I got out of that student view. So see how it says subscribed? You want to make sure you click on that. If it's like that, that means you're not subscribed. So you click on it and then it will say subscribe. So please make sure that you do that. All right. The next thing, I'm going to go back to our student view so we can see that better. All right. So again, we can go back to modules at any time. And we're just about done. Just wanted to give you a quick run through of how the class works. So again, here is our welcome module. You're going to go through all these things. You can see these little check marks showing that I did complete these. I viewed them. These won't show check marks until you actually submit and you actually have a score. If you don't score 12, you can redo that. Again, you can see all these check marks. This one, it says mark as done, so I haven't marked as done, so I want to click on that page and then click that, so that way I can see all of this done. It will not let you move on to the next part until all of those things are completed. There's the Alex intro video, so this tells you a lot more about Alex and how that homework is going to be working. And then you need to complete an Alex knowledge check. That gets you started. You're going to create your account and do your initial knowledge check, and that gets you ready for where our homework is. Most of our homework practice will be, and also where we're going to be taking our exams. So please make sure you complete that as soon as possible. And then there's just a super short quiz. You got to score 7 out of 8. So take your time on it. Again, you can redo that as many times as you can in order to get 100%. And then you're done with that module. Down below, there's some resources that you can look into and check that out if you'd like. And that's going to be open all the time. So if you're like, oh, I need tutoring, you can click on this and see more information about that. Or, oh, I need to find that student lounge and Q&A and what's that about? You can click on that. So then going into the rest of the content for the week. So that was all about getting ready for our course these next 18 weeks. What we're going to be learning about this week is functions. It's our introduction to functions. And so you can kind of see this is our introduction to that actual module 1. You can click through that and you can see our first DLA is not due until September 19th. If you don't turn it in today, it's not due until September 19th. So then what I would want to go into, just to make sure I finish all my work for the week, is Module 1, Week 1. See how it says August 16th? It shouldn't say that. Didn't update. All right, we'll fix that. So we're going to go in and learn about our factoring trinomials, and as you work through that, then it will take you to graphing lines, and within each of these lessons there is going to be some words to read, so you want to make sure you read that, and then there's going to be videos that you can watch. Sometimes I'll ask you to make a note page, and sometimes you'll have to upload your note page from there. So I'm going to click back for a second. Alright, so just kind of fixing through this, I had to update it because it had the wrong date for some reason. But January 10th to the 16th. So every single week for our actual math content, it'll say what module we're working in, and then it will say week 1, or if we kind of scroll down, you can see week 2 down below. And you're going to need to work through every single one of these pages. And it'll direct you when you need to leave Canvas and go work in Alex. Okay, so you need to do the learning part first, then work in Alex. So if I click on, again, click on that factoring, so you can see factoring trinomials is a review topic, but just in case you've forgotten, here's some videos that you can look at. And I have some of them with captions that are a little bit better, but then these are the same exact videos down below directly from YouTube. And then there's some actual practice if you want to print out a handout to try your factoring. So once you go through and work through that and take some notes, so that way you have something to refer to, then you click next, and we have another lesson this week. Again, it's a review of graphing lines. And so you can look, again, there's 3 videos that you can watch. These ones are, again, nicely captioned, but if you want to see them directly from YouTube, you can click on a few of those. And then there's a little fun activity. It's kind of a little game. It's called Marble Slide Lines Desmos Activity. This activity isn't a homework assignment. It's not required, but it's good practice. So if you want more practice, or maybe you want to check and see, well, do I know how this works without watching the videos, you could try that first. So again, this was the learning page for that lesson. And so now it says, okay, here's Alex. Go finish the pi objective in Alex. So we've already done the knowledge check. That was due when we finished that first welcome module. And so now it's telling you, go do that Alex pi objective. And maybe you already met that requirement because you remember a lot of stuff from previous math classes, and so you might not have to complete that, but that's what you're working on. I'm hitting next on the bottom right, and our last lesson for the week is about function notation, domain, and range. And so this one I'm telling you, watch the videos below, remembering to take notes. These are not review. It might be review compared to the other 2 lessons, but these are the videos that you're going to watch. Again, here's some that are captioned a little bit better if you'd like. There's some practice here and another video, so that might be good to practice. And then when I hit next, I need to upload some notes that I took on those functions on the previous page with those videos, and as one PDF, you'll upload that here, okay? And then I'm going to hit next again. And this looks a little different because I'm out of the student view. Because it requires you to complete that welcome module first. So if you don't have access to this, it's because you didn't complete everything in that welcome module. So again, here it says, complete the Alex Module 1, Section 2.3. So it's saying, okay, you finished learning, you did the learning part, let's go to Alex and try and get some practice in, okay? And so that's what you'll want to do. Then you hit next, and the last thing at the end of every week is to complete a check-in. Normally it'll say, like, how did the first week go, any questions, and then it might have a practice problem. So for these, for this first week, it's just any questions about the class or expectations so far. So please make sure you complete that. And there's just a little text box entry. So again, this is my view because my student has not yet completed the welcome module. So complete that welcome module first. All right. If I go back to student view, see, it kind of kicks me out and says it's locked. Okay, and it's because I need to complete all that stuff in the welcome module first. Okay, so if yours says locked, then you should be doing that. A quick note about stuff on this left side again, if you click on visiting hours, because you're like, oh, I need to go see the Miss Candace, I need to go to her office, you can click on that. And it didn't work because I'm in that student view. Okay, we'll make that a little bit better, but this is kind of the idea right here, that it has a little video on how to make appointments using the calendar in Canvas. So this is just a nice way for you to get your 15-minute time appointment. Again, if you can do that 24 hours in advance, that would be awesome. But if you just want to drop in, you can click directly on these links, or again, you could go visit that InSpace tab. So we can go to that InSpace tab. So I hope that was helpful, and I really look forward to getting to know you more in our class. If you have any questions or anything, please reach out via email.